Hi everyone, I'm Brock. So today let's keep reviewing AI corporate report. Based on I had a discussion this Thursday with my professor Kevin, and he pointed out that it's not a good idea to understand a company only based on a report generated by AI because AI may have hallucination. And because I'm not familiar with the company I research on. So even if the AI gives some, misleading information, I don't have the ability to distinguish. Instead, he suggested me to research based on some reports generated by human, especially by some authority organizations. I think that his suggestion makes sense, but also I made some trade-off. His original idea is that I should directly read the report itself. But my point is that I just want to have an overview in 1 hour. So my plan is I will download the report first. Then I will use AI to summarize the report. That's the research method I want to try now. So what I did is that I directly search for AI corporate report or AI company report, whatever, and try to download the report. The first result is by Vulture. How to pronounce?
Vulture. Vulture.
Virtual.
Vulture.
Virtual. Virtual. But after I fill in the information, I cannot download the report. So I skip this one. The second search results is by Gartner. So this is Gartner's report. I fill in the information, I downloaded successfully. Well, it's actually not a downloadable PDF. It's a web page. Again, because I don't want to provide a link to AI, and AI may have some hallucination. I assume that if the data is stored locally, the hallucination may decrease. Of course, that's my assumption or my gut intuition. So what I did is that I downloaded this report web page. So as you can see, basically this is a HTML file. Lots of them are actually lots of them are formatting. It's hard to read for humans, but I think that AI should be able to recognize those format and pass the information. Okay, so here is a report. So as you can see, the source of this report came from Gartner, Emerging Tech Impact Radar, Generative AI. Okay, so you see this information totally came from the original web page. So you can find its name here, and also you can find the date, so on and so forth here. So, and then I use AI to summarize it. Yeah. Okay, let's start it. And also, I didn't limit what sections I want to have. Because different report may have different sections architecture, I don't want to limit. I don't want to limit it. So here is my here's my prompt. So I just provide the requirements to ask to define some formatting requirement. And I don't say, hey, you should have this section, that section. Okay, let's start. This report is based on Gartner's Emerging Tech Impact Radar, Generative AI Research Note, published on February 14th, 2025. The report discussed 22 of the most important Gen AI technologies and the trends across 4 main themes. High-impact technologies such as AI agents and the reasoning model will disrupt how the world interacts with technology. Product leaders should use this impact radar to make critical decisions or investing in emerging Gen AI technologies to enable customers to reach new heights of value in their business. So as you can see, this report was generated on February, and the how do you say that, breakout or the madness moment happened in this January. So as you can see, those report companies actually react pretty fast and add it into their report. So I guess that's one of the reasons why my professor asked me to, read the report generated by humans. Okay, this mermaid graphic doesn't load successfully. I need to, yeah. So this is some related technology related to generative AI. Okay, cool. Let's see. So the first one is the development of reasoning model will offer a significant advancement for business due to their ability to solve complex problems with high accuracy. Such models use a chain of thought approach that allows them to analyze and articulate the necessary steps to reach a solution. Hey, you see, when you explain what's chain of thought, it should also give English demonstration, right? So that's something it failed to achieve. So let's see whether there's some issue with my, okay. If you use some abbreviation, okay. This is very important. Chinese definition and English definition. Okay. Yeah, and it should be more specific. Okay. Let's say why be specific. Back to the time when we generate a definition it should generate English definition as well. Okay, cool. The second one. The first one is significant advancement in reasoning models. And in the past few weeks, we saw Gemini 3, we saw Cloud Ops 4.5, we saw GPT 5.1. So all those models, it's kind of like a mandatory race. Everyone is trying their best to catch up and be the leader. You can see the technology in advancement at this stage is, I should say,
acceleration.
Yeah, so it's not only the speed itself is increased. Actually, the acceleration rate, you can feel that is also increased. The second main domain is agentic AI creates significant opportunities. Agentic AI will create significant opportunities to improve productivity, customer experience, and decision making. But it requires user trust to gain sustained adoption. Third domain, multimodal Gen AI transforms enterprise application. Multimodal Gen AI will transform enterprise applications by enabling the addition of new user interfaces, features, and functionalities. The fourth domain, synthetic data revolution. Synthetic data will revolutionize multiple industries and use cases in the next 3 years as it removes reliance on real-world data and enables endless opportunities for simulations and data generation techniques. Since humans can use synthetic data for simulation, then this world can also be a simulation. And the purpose of this world may be just get synthetic data, right? Recommendations. The first recommendation is reasoning models application. Okay, so identify high-value applications for reasoning models, particularly agents requiring multi-step actions, models serving as a coordinate to orchestrate multi-agent systems, and improving small model reasoning performance through distillation and fine-tuning. Distillation.
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 Distillation. Second one, agentic AI adoption recommendations. Establish the basis for agentic AI adoption by starting with agents that carry out simple actions reliably and consistently, such as completing expense claim fields, or passing patient intake in healthcare. Number 3, multimodal experience acceleration recommendations. Accelerate to high-quality multimodal experience by first exploring, acquiring curated text.
curated, curated,
image, video, and audio database from AI marketplace instead of developing in-house. Number 4, synthetic data strategic planning recommendations. Create a strategic roadmap, prioritizing short-term synthetic data. Use cases focus on augmenting model training, especially for domain-specific tasks where real data is hard to recall and noisy, while using simulations to understand and improve business process in the long run. Yeah, I think that these 4 recommendations actually map to the previous 4 main domains. And the key prediction timeline. 4.1, let's say, what's the prediction? Okay. Okay, so the basic idea is predict these 4 areas. The market percentage increase hugely, which means that there will be a lot of academic paper is published in these areas. A lot of open source projects emerge in the community, and a lot of commercial companies will gain great success in this area. Reasonable? Second part, model-centric technologies. Model-centric technologies are the basis for disruption. This section covers technologies under 3 sub-themes. Okay. The first one is enhanced reasoning and context awareness. Reasoning models are a class of AI models that use reinforcement learning to improve performance in logic, math, and coding by generating chains of thought. Representative models include OpenAI O1 and DeepSeek R1. Okay. Actually, humans learn in this way, right? Key features: inference time scaling. Allocate more compute at inference time to improve output quality. Chain of thought. Model shows reasoning steps, improving accuracy on complex tasks. Multi-step problem solving, capable of decomposing and solving complex multi-step problems. Actually, this is how humans learn, right? If you are teach a kid to learn coding or math, what do you tell them, right? You tell them, okay, spend more time thinking. If you didn't think it very well, visualize your thoughts, write it down on the paper, right? And also, if this is a complex problems, divide it into smaller ones and conquer them one by one. All those stuff actually is how humans learn. Second one, long context window models, ultra long context window models. Non-context window models such as Qianwen 2.511M excel in facility. So you see, when we talk about those models, the examples is given here. Top 1, American models, no doubt. The second one is Chinese model. I didn't see too many models from third country. Excel in facilitating in context learning, a vital aspect of generative AI. These models manage up to 1 million tokens using techniques like dual chunk attention, allowing them to adapt to various tasks without explicit retraining. And today it's 1 million. Maybe tomorrow is 10 million, and the next year 10 million, and 2 years later maybe 100 million. Who knows? Advantage. Adapt to various tasks without explicit retraining, efficiently generating response by leveraging context in prompts, enhancing performance in new nuanced tasks, simplify user interaction. Item 3, active inference. Active inference based on the free energy principle boosts AI adaptability by integrating perception, cognition, and action, focusing on continual learning and real-time interaction. Okay. Model efficiency and accessibility. Item 1, small language models, SLM. Small language models are models with significantly fewer parameters than large language model, but can match for even surpass their performance. The evolution of small model development, highlighted by DeepSeek, enables the creation of SLMs that can match or even surpass the performance of large models, which use 2 to 3 orders of magnitude fewer parameters. So that's a very interesting thing, right? It's like all the device human created at the very beginning. Our goal is to achieve the function, the feature. So we don't care how big it is. We just want to achieve our goal. And once we figure out how to achieve our goal, the next step is how to make it efficient. So we have smaller, TV, right? Have thin TV, have thinner phones, lighter computers. So this methodology actually is the same no matter what kind of technology we are using. DeepSeek's breakthrough innovation. So you see that? The report was published on February, and it spent a lot of efforts to discuss about DeepSeek. I get the point why my professor asked me to read reports created by humans rather than directly, ask AI to do some research. Because the insights here is already, digested by human. It's kind of like when you do research, you look at the overview papers, right? Similarly, DeepSeek innovation, efficient architectures, mixture of experts, distillation techniques. So it can run on consumer hardware. It can use for edge deployment. It can lower costs. It democratizes AI. Advantage. Okay. So item 2, domain-specific language model. Domain-specific models are tailored to particular industries or tasks and can now be developed on local hardware due to lower barrier to entry demonstrated by efficient architecture. Make sense? Applied areas: healthcare, legal, finance, manufacturing, scientific research, AI for research, AI for science. That's very fascinating. So maybe a decade later, most Nobel Prize is driven or under the hood is driven by AI? Maybe, who knows? Item 3, open language model. Open language models are models with publicly available weights that allow researchers and developers for freely access, modify, and deploy. Representative. Okay, I don't know. Let's see how to pronounce it. Representative.
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 Representative. Representatives include Meta's Elnama Serials, Mistral, etc. Other capabilities. Item 1, multimodal Gen AI. Multimodal Gen AI, generative AI, enables AI to process and synthesize diverse data types, including text, images, and audio, enhancing its context, understanding, and applicability. Okay, so how the multimodal processing flow is input modalities like text, image, audio, video. Then it go into multimodal processing, go to encoder, fusion layer, decoder, and output modality is generated text, generated image, generated audio, generated video. By 2030, 80% of enterprise software and application will be multimodal, up from 1% in 2024. So as you can see, the market share change is so fast, right? Imagine during the first industry revolution, 300 years ago, if you develop a machine, it may take a generation or 2 generations, well, maybe one generation, 20 years, 30 years, to from 1% market share to 80%. But nowadays, just several years or maybe 1 year, who knows? That's insane. Item 2, diffusion AI model. Diffusion models are a class of generative models that generate high-quality outputs by learning to gradually remove noise from data. They have been particularly successful in image generation, such as Stable Diffusion, DALL-E, Midjourney, etc. Okay. But actually, I'm not quite sure. Okay, how it works. Interesting. The explanation is very, it's very clear. Item 3, large action models, LAMs. Large action models empower AI to execute complex task sequences and make informed decisions in dynamic environments, significantly expanding its utility. This equips AI system with the capability needed to effectively integrate into fields like healthcare, entertainment, and autonomous systems. Okay. Okay. Model performance tools and techniques. The technology in this theme are enabling advancements in model accuracy and safety, as well as ethical considerations concerning the use of Gen AI outputs. Okay. So the first kind of is sustainable AI, resource efficiency. ESG integration. What's ESG? You should tell me what's ESG, right? Graph, RAG. Research augmented graph, knowledge graphs, factor verification. Gen AI engineering tools, development tools, testing and monitoring. Okay. So second item, sustainable AI. Oh, you explain explain what's ESG. Good. Sustainable AI incorporates environment, social, and governance aspects into decision making. The rapid development and adoption of small language models present an opportunity for enterprise and product leaders to leverage Gen AI models that are much more resource efficient than generic LMs. A critical driver is the alignment of cost and sustainability benefits. With resource efficient model being in general considering cheaper as well. Gartner expects a breakthrough demonstrated by DeepSeek. Well, I noticed that DeepSeek is mentioned too many times, so many times. Is that really happening? Oh yeah. You see that in the original report, DeepSeek show us 38 times. You can see the impact of it. With the whole industry moving from large generic LMs to more industry and domain-specific models. Item 3, graph RAG, graph retrieval augmented generation, combines knowledge graph with RAG technology to elevate accuracy challenges with Gen AI solutions. Which result from generating response based on patterns in data rather than verified facts, leading to hallucination or misinformation. Kind of like what I'm doing, right? Previously, I just say, hey, research SpaceX for me. Of course, it will do some research online, but on the other hand, there may be some hallucination happen. But now, when I provide context, kind of like if I already provide the text, right? The report itself, although in HTML formatting, and then summarize a report based on it. Maybe I will get less hallucination. Okay, fair enough. So the workflow is user query, retrieval, and the knowledge graph relationship, entity. Okay, context building, generation with LM, accurate answer. Item 4, Gen AI engineering tools. Gen AI engineering tools are suites that supports development, testing, deployment, and monitoring of Gen AI applications, including prompt engineering tools, model evaluation frameworks, ML ops platforms. Of course, right? Because the person who are excited and eager to try those tools are developers. Of course, the developer tools will help them a lot. So you see, in the past 20 years, 30 years, because there are so many engineers, so many developers are fostered. Then when AI tide came out, those experienced engineers or those fresh graduates, students, college students, whatever, are pretty fast to adopt this technology. If we don't have such group of people, it's impossible for these AI tools, spread so fast. Okay, part 3, the AI data frontier. The AI frontier is expanding to address advanced model building. This theme discusses some of the critical steps that involve building a Gen AI model and the decisions that have to be made with each of these steps. Data frontier technology overview. Core challenge, data readiness, AI data frontier, synthetic data, AI marketplace, data center microgrid. Item 2, synthetic data. Synthetic data is algorithmically generated data that simulates the statistical properties of real-world data, but does not directly originate from real events. It can enhance real-world dataset and plays a critical role when real data cannot be used or is difficult to obtain. So the workflow: input phase, generation phase, and output phase. So for input phase, we have real data sample, statistic properties, business rules. In generation phase, we generative algorithm, VEAE, diffusion. So variation autoencoder, generative adversary network. And output phase include synthetic dataset, quality assessment, core value, privacy protection, edge case enhancement, cost efficiency, enhanced reasoning. By 2030, synthetic data will constitute more than 90% of the data to fill in edge scenarios for training AI models, up from 5% today. Okay. AI marketplace. AI marketplace are virtual spaces where product leaders and AI adopters can sell, or buy a variety of AI assets. This includes offerings such as domain-specific generative models, open-source models, governance tools, curated data sets, notebooks, and Gen AI-enabled applications. Sample vendors. Okay, it finally gives some name here. Let's see. Let's see whether it's really mentioned it. Yeah, it mentioned them. Okay, so it's not a hallucination. It did mention some name here, so it's good. Javax, Define AI, Deloitte, DXC Technology, Google, Nomad Data, Second, Snowflake, Tata, Consulting Services. Okay. So signers may be model vendors, data providers, service providers. Buyer may be SMB, enterprise developers. And the AI markets may include applications, models, data side, governance tools, notebooks. Good. So by 2028, 40% of AI assets purchased, including models and data by enterprise, will take place real AI markets. Item 4, data center macrogrid. Data center macrogrid are independent and semi-independent power infrastructure designed to support the massive computing demands of AI workloads, typically integrating renewable energy sources and energy storage systems. Item 8, applied Gen AI. Applied Gen AI will currently enhance existing experiences while enabling new use cases. Higher performance, parameter-efficient models will enable new use cases, particularly in resource-constrained environments. Okay, so applied Gen AI technical stack. Gen AI virtual assistant, AI code assistant, Agentic AI, Gen AI enabled apps, Gen AI API extension, intelligent simulation, AI molecular modeling, productivity, customer experience, business impact, decision making, innovation. Okay. Item 2, Gen AI virtual assistants. Gen AI virtual assistants represent a new generation of AI VAs that leverage large language models to deliver functionality not obtained with traditional conversational AI technology. Gen AI enables improved QA support, new features and modalities, extended task automation, and improved value outcomes. Sample vendors: Azure, Google, Haptic, IBM, Core.ai, Nina AI, OpenReach.ai, OpenStream.ai. Usual. That's great. It provides pronunciation for those, words hard to pronounce. Okay. By 2026, Gen AI will be embedded in 90% of conversational AI offerings, up from 50% in 2024. You see, it has been 2020, it's just about 2 years, then it become 50%. That's insane. Item 3, Agentic AI. Agentic AI is an AI applicant capabilities that can create software systems able to work autonomously to achieve user-defined goals. Unlike traditional Gen AI applications, Agentic AI doesn't simply respond to prompts. It proactively set goals, make plans, execute tasks, and adjust based on feedback on minimum human interaction. Sample vendors: Anthropic, AWS, EMA, Google, IBM, Longchain, Microsoft, OpenAI, Salesforce, ServiceNow. Agentic AI architecture. The interesting thing is that I was asked this question. Can you explain the agent's architecture? Just yesterday in an interview. And if I read here, yes, no, before the interview, I believe I can answer much better for this question. So yeah, so you never know. You never know what I learned now will make an impact in the future. So basically, it can be divided into 2 parts. The first part is the environment. Then it includes API, database, external system. And the AI agents part, include 4 parts: planning, memory, tools, action. And this is user goal. By 2028, 1/3 of interaction with enterprise generative AI software will invoke autonomous agents to achieve tasks. up from less than 1% in 2023. AI coding assistance, item 4. Gartner defines AI code assistants as tools that assist in generating and analyzing software code and configuration. These tools initially centered around generating code within an IDE, but are increasingly broadening their scope to include tasks such as code review, debugging, refactoring, code research, code quality, security analysis, and optimization. You know, when I was a freshman and started to learn computer science, I actually already think about, what if, programs can write programs itself. And nowadays it achieved, right? We can never imagine what happened 10 years later. That's insane. Sample vendors, Amazon, AnySphere, or Cursor, Codium, GitHub, Google, Replit, SourceGraph, Tabline, Tencent, Zed. It doesn't mention ByteDance. Well, yeah, because it's on February. The coding agent made by ByteDance is not so popular at that time. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to do. Now I am trying to utilize AI coding agents in all the software development life cycle. Item 5, intelligent simulation. Intelligent simulation combines AI technology with traditional simulation methods to create more accurate and adaptive simulation environments. Advanced simulation techniques such as simulation trains will eventually enable test environments to operate at a fraction of the cost and time required for testing in the real world. Yeah, we may live in a simulation. Item 6, AI molecular modeling. AI molecular modeling is the application of artificial intelligence techniques to predict and analyze the 3D structures, interactions, and properties of molecules. It significantly reduces the time and cost of drug discovery while enabling the analysis of innovation compounds. In the life science industry, AI molecular modeling underpins a shift from trial and error to precise engineering of therapeutics, which means maybe in the following 10 years, we can see more and more disease get conquered. Sample vendors, Dassault System, DeepMind, Kaken, Chemical Computing Group, Fujitsu, Insee Medicine, NVIDIA, Schrödinger, or hard to say. The Nobel Prize in Chemistry 2024 was awarded to David Baker, Demis Hassabis, and John Draper in part of developing the AI model AlphaFold 2, which predicts proteins' complex structures. Yeah. Right, you see now, chemistry Nobel Prize has been, awarded to people who use AI. Physics has been awarded to AI. Well, I think that maybe the next one will be math, and then literature, then peace, maybe. Yeah, I guess that is just cycle time. I believe all in maybe in 1 decade, all those Nobel Prize will be awarded to people, whose work based on AI. Item 7, Gen AI-enabled apps and API extensions. An increasing number of organizations are focusing on augmenting existing software and solutions with Gen AI, integrating Gen AI capabilities into traditional applications. Gen AI extensions allow developers to access Gen AI capabilities through standardized interface, simplifies the integration process of Gen AI functionalities. Okay, priority metrics. The priority metrics help produce product leaders plan investment timing based on impact level and time to reach early majority adoption. Okay, so let's look at 9.1. 9.1. Okay, so you see, most of them have a high impact. Okay. And investing timing gap. First movers, faster followers, majority followers, left followers. Actually, I position myself as faster followers, or I try to be a faster followers. Okay. Based on the Gartner report, a SWOT analysis. I mean, 0.1. Okay. Fair enough. Here's the strength, weakness, opportunities, threats. Okay. 5W, 1H. Okay, who, what, why, well, how. Yeah, fair enough. Conclusions and outlook. First one, reasoning capability is a key breakthrough. Yeah, it's kind of like humans, mindset change or IQ booster, right? That's the fundamental foundation. Item 2, agentic AI will reshape enterprise operations, obviously. Item 3, small models will democratize AI. While reading those books from China like thousands of years ago, I realized a lot of knowledge get lost. And the reason why it get lost is that it's private, it's secret. Only one generation, give it to its sons or daughters, whatever. And then it's very easy to get lost in the river of time. But nowadays, the mainstream do research is to publish the paper so that everyone knows that, and the more people who use that, you get a higher reputation. I think that's a positive flywheel. And then in the past 10 years, 20 years, the open source project, community get so, prosper. Wow, I forgot the word, whatever. And all of those things are make the knowledge democratize. So the third one makes sense. Item 4, data strategy is critical. Item 5, multimodal is a future standard. Of course, how humans understand the world through vision, through ears, through all those stuff is what we expect AI to do. Okay, roadmap, suggestions. Okay, here's some glossary. That's important. And there's some reference. Good. Last part, some position recommendation. So Salesforce solution engineer. Let's say yeah, it doesn't mention about the OPT stuff, the visa stuff. So yeah, maybe I can try this one. Let me write it down. December 6th. Okay. Salesforce. Yeah. And the second one for Snowflake, Daybreaks, ServiceNow, OpenAI, NVIDIA, IBM. But actually, I already specifically mentioned, don't recommend any companies mention this file, but it is still recommend, let's say, OpenAI, NVIDIA. I already applied for them, and I already put it in the list, but it doesn't listen to my instruction. So, okay, IBM, Salesforce, okay, and the suggestions, research company AI products. That's something I'm trying to do, right? Understand the Gen AI trends, prepare demo skills. Okay. And some strategy, related resources. Okay, so some feelings. So as I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, the main change today is that instead of directly, ask clouds to search on web and generate a report, I use a report generated by an authority. In this case, it's Gartner. I use it as a source of truth. And to generate the report, it's more like a summarization purpose, rather than having relied on real-time search. And I think that I think that this change actually makes this report more solid. And when I go through it spend 1 hour and go through it, I think that I get some key takeaways. That's good. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you, everyone. Bye.